I'm Paul Perkins with the check of your ag weather. Snow remains possible through early this evening, mostly from north central to eastern Nebraska, where snow accumulation should range about 1 to 2 inches. Blowing and drifting snow is a bigger concern for all areas, with northerly wind gusts of 35 to 45 through midnight. Lows tonight drop to 0 or lower, with wind chills in the 20s below 0. Tomorrow and Saturday, the coldest days of the next week. Highs mostly in the upper single digits to the mid-teens. Highs up around 20, though, expected over southwest Nebraska and northwest Kansas. The coldest temperatures are tomorrow night, with lows as cold as teens below 0 and wind chills of 30 to 35 below. Westerly downslope winds off a ridge of high pressure results in a warming trend for Sunday through next week. Highs warm into the mid-30s to the mid-40s for Monday through Wednesday. Rain is possible mainly on Wednesday, with totals of 0.20 to a half inch. January ends on a much milder note in the long-term forecast. Warmer than normal temperatures are likely Tuesday through the end of the month for Nebraska, Kansas, and the entire U.S. Nebraska and Kansas precipitation is expected to be above normal for Tuesday through January 31st, especially the middle of next week. Checking the regional drought monitor, Nebraska remains at 61% drought-free, with drought-free conditions to abnormal dryness in the west and much of the central and northeastern corner. Areas from St. Paul to east of Kearney, Minden, and Red Cloud, along with much of eastern Nebraska, continue to be in moderate to severe drought. Extreme drought coverage continues at 7% of Nebraska in areas along and east of a line from Fullerton to Grand Island, Hastings, and Superior. Kansas continues at 23% drought-free. It is drought-free to abnormally dry south of I-70 in western Kansas, the far south central, and most of the southeast. Much of northern and central Kansas are locked in moderate to severe drought. 1% of Kansas is in extreme drought, which is right along the border of Rooks and Graham County. Key weather factors affecting the markets include a burst of Arctic air for the U.S. through the weekend before warmer temperatures next week. Good weather continuing in most of Brazil, and a drier trend for Argentina. A final strong push of Arctic air arrives across the northern plains, Midwest, and eastern U.S. the next few days. Sub-zero temperatures persist through Sunday in parts of the Midwest, followed by a major warming trend. A stripe of wintry precipitation is expected to stretch from the Pacific Northwest into parts of the Midwest, as well as parts of the mid and northern Atlantic states. Early next week, western storm energy tracks eastward, with rain forecast to develop in the western Gulf Coast. As moisture expands northeastward into the mid-south and lower Midwest, there may be an increasing threat of wintry precipitation starting on Monday. Across the central and southern plains, most of the precipitation next week falls as mostly rain, helping to melt the snowpack. In central Brazil, rain chances improve with widespread rain over southern Brazil tomorrow, moving north this weekend through next week. The recent drier stretch in central Brazil is not overly concerning for filling soybeans, but more soil moisture is needed for second crop corn planting, which starts soon. Argentina is looking at drier weather in the next 2 weeks, leading to declining conditions for corn and soybeans towards the end of this month. With the check of your ag weather, I'm Paul Perkins.